Hello students. Today we continue our lecture on gaseous state of matter. This lecture is presented by me, Panit Ghatak, your chemistry teacher. So let's begin. From the heading itself, you can see today's topic. The topic of the day is kinetic theory of gases. So let's begin. As you can see from the slide itself, that is a kinetic molecular theory of gases based upon the 5 assumptions. Okay, so we're gonna deal with these 5 assumptions and we're gonna dig deeper into these 5 assumptions as well to understand the kinetic molecular theory of gases. Okay, so the first assumption states gases consist of large number of tiny particles that are far apart relative to their sizes. Okay, so particles of gas consist of number of tiny particles. Okay, and they are far apart from each other. Okay, and gas volumes are about 1000x or 1000 times greater than the liquid or solid volumes. Okay, so gases volumes are 1000 times more than the solid volumes or liquid volumes. Okay, so that is why gas particles or gases are more compatible or more compressible. Okay, because there is more void spaces in between the particles, in between the gaseous particles. That is why it is becoming more compressible. Whereas in the cases of solid or liquid, the space between the intermolecular or interparticular space is very less. That is why in the case of solid, especially, they are highly incompressible. That is why we cannot compress the solid. But where in the case of gases, as there is a huge vacancy between the inter or the two particles, that is why we can say that in the case of gases the interparticular distance is more. Okay, and some space is vacant between the two or more than two particles of gases. That is why we can easily compress the gas. But whereas in the case of solid, we cannot compress the solid because the particles of the solid are tightly held together. So there is less amount of space or volume is present in between the two particles of solid. Okay, so in the case of solid, we cannot compress it more further. But whereas in the case of gas, we can easily do that. Okay, so move to the next assumption, that is assumption number 2. Collision between the gas particles and between the container wall are elastic collisions. Okay, so the nature of the collision between the particle and the particle and wall of the container is elastic in nature. Okay, so what do you mean by elastic? So elastic collisions have no net loss of kinetic energy. There is no energy lost to heat or like billiard balls. Okay, so here in the case of elastic collision means there will be no change of energy, or we can say no net loss of kinetic energy will be there. Okay, so before the reaction the kinetic energy of the product, and after the reaction the kinetic energy of the reactant will be same. In that kind of collision is called the elastic collisions. So when particles of gas collide with each other, or in the case of collision of gas particle and the wall of the container is elastic in nature. That means the net energy will be the same as before the collision. Okay, so the collision between the gas particles and between the particles and the wall of the container will be elastic collisions. Okay, so next move to the next point. Okay, the next assumption is gas particles are continuous, rapid, random motion in all the directions. So as you can see from the Brownian motion itself, the gas particles also do a similar properties. Okay, so gas particles are continuous, rapid and random. Okay, they can move in all the direction. Okay, so they possess a kinetic energy, which is the energy of the motion. We know for any particle mainly we have two kind of energy, that is a potential energy and kinetic energy. The total energy, you can say the potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy and kinetic energy. Okay. In the case of gas particles, as gas particles are always moving randomly and simultaneously in all the direction, that is why they possess only mainly kinetic energy, because they are moving in all the direction simultaneously all the time. Okay, so they are not stable in one place, that is why they doesn't have much of the potential energy. Okay, so they have only the kinetic energy, mainly the kinetic energy, and all the kinetic energy is the, we can say the total energy of the gas is the mainly the kinetic energy. Okay, as gas particles are moved in a in a continuous rapid and random motion in all the directions, so all the energy they got the energy mainly from the kinetic energy. Okay, not from the potential energy. Okay, so let's move to the next assumption, that is there are no forces of attraction between the gas particles. Okay, so between the, suppose this is a particle and this is a particle, so there will be no force of attraction will be there. There will be no force of attraction between these two particles of gas. Okay, so this is the assumption. Okay, so when they collide, they bounce apart, and gases that are polar do not behave as ideal gases. So just do not bother about this as today. In the next day we will discuss about this in brief as well. Okay, so for today just remember that we have assumed that there is no forces of attraction between the gas particles. Okay, there is no forces of attraction between the gas particles. Okay, so when they collide they bounce apart. Okay, so there is no forces of attraction between the two gas particles. Okay, and let's move to the next assumption, that is the temperature of the gas depends on the average kinetic energy of the particles of the gas. Okay, so kinetic energy also depends on the temperature, and temperature is also depends on the kinetic energy of the gas. And from this equation we can clearly see that the kinetic energy of the gas is equal to half mv square, where m is the mass of the particle and v is the velocity or average speed. Okay, average velocity or average speed. Okay, because gas particles move in all the direction, so that is why it is better to use the average speed, the term average speed, not the average velocity, because speed is a scalar quantity, not a vector quantity. Okay, and velocity is the vector quantity. As the gas particle moves in all the direction, so that means the gas particle doesn't have a single direction, so that is why it is better to use the term average speed, not average velocity. Okay, so I am repeating myself. The fifth assumption states that the temperature of a gas depends on the average kinetic energy of a particle of a gas. Okay, so temperature depends on the kinetic energy, and also you can see the kinetic energy is also depends on the temperature. If the temperature is same, then the kinetic energy of the two gases will be same, but in the case of higher temperature the kinetic energy will be higher. Okay, so here it is being already saying that all gases at the same temperature have the same kinetic energy, but at the same temperature lighter gas particles such as hydrogen have higher average speeds, because we know in the case of lighter elements or lighter particles of gas, the average speed will be higher. As the average speed is higher, then they will have the higher kinetic energy. Okay, so at the same temperature the lighter gas particles have the higher average speed than the heavier particles such as oxygen molecules. Okay, so hydrogen is slightly lighter than the oxygen, so hydrogen will have the higher average speed in the same temperature than oxygen. Okay, but at the same temperature, if their mass is same, then they have the same kinetic energy. Okay, so in these 5 assumptions These 5 assumptions are highly important to describe the kinetic theory of gases. But in these 5 assumptions, the 2 assumptions are very important. That is, there are these gases, these are mainly the ideal gases. Whichever the gas that follow this kinetic theory or kinetic molecular theory of gases is called the ideal gases. It's not called the ideal gases, but those gases who follow the Boyle's law and Charles' law are called the ideal gas. But this kinetic theory of gas is particularly established for the ideal gases. Okay, but in the case of ideal gas, the 2 things are very important. Number 1, they are point masses. That is, the particles of ideal gas are the point masses, so they do not have any volume for itself. So the particle of gas doesn't have any volume, number 1. And number 2, there is no attraction force between the 2 particles of gas. So no attraction force. There will be no attraction force between the 2 particle of gas. Attraction force. Okay, so these 2 things that define the ideal gas. To be an ideal gas, they have to have point masses, so their volume should be negligible, as well as the intermolecular attraction force between the 2 particles will be negligible as well. Okay, so these 2 things define the ideal gas. Okay, and the kinetic theory of gas is based on the assumptions based on the ideal gas, not the real gas. Okay, in the last part I will be dealing with that. An ideal gas is a hypothetical gas that perfectly fits all the assumptions of the kinetic molecular theory. No real life gas is truly ideal. Okay, so whenever we see a gas, that is oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, any gas in our reality, it is not an ideal gas, it is a real gas. But while the kinetic molecular theory of the gas applies only to ideal gas, but it can also be applied on the real gas as well. But the real gas, remember, real gas behaves ideally when temperature is high and pressure is low. Okay, so when temperature is high and the pressure is low, then when the temperature is high, then the volume, and when the pressure is low, then the volume of the gas is increased. Okay, the volume of the gas is increased, and that is why the interparticular distance becomes so high. So that the interparticular distance of the gas becomes so high, that is why the attraction force getting negligible. Okay, attraction force becomes negligible. That is why in higher temperature and in low pressure, the real gas behaves ideally. Okay, I am repeating myself. This is very critical to understand. So I am repeating myself. When temperature is high, pressure is low, the volume of the gas, when we heat the temperature, when we heat the container full of gas, and we lower the pressure, then what happens? The volume of the gas increases. As the volume of the gas increases, then the interparticular distance increases. When the distance is higher, then attraction force will be lower. At certain time, if we increase the temperature so high and pressure is so low, then at certain time the temperature is so high that the volume will be so higher that the attraction force between the two particles will be negligible. When the attraction force is negligible, it behaves ideally, because in the case of ideal gas, the attraction force of the ideal gas is negligible. We assume that. And in the case of real gas also, when the temperature is high and pressure is low, then the attraction force becomes negligible. That is why they behaves ideally. Okay, so in today's class we have discussed the kinetic theory of gases. I hope you have understood this part very well. If you have any kind of doubt, please ask me in the comment section below. So that's it for now. Thank you very much.